Hi, Sameer. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, it's really hard to hear.
Hello everyone, Barbara, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Thanks, good to see you all.
Lovely to see you. Najat, my dear, how are you? I haven't seen you for ages. She can't hear me. Najat, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Barbara. I am very excited, but sorry, the first time I am meeting in a meeting like that, so forgive me if I make a mistake. I want to learn. I was so excited to open the Zoom alone at home. Nobody is helping me.
Oh, well,
Nice to see you.
It's lovely
Nice
to
to see you. Nice to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you. You need to get onto Adrian and he will come and help you out.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to open classes.
Yeah, I done all the classes. Thank you to share. Thank you to share organization, and thank you for inviting me today. I am very happy. This is the first time with you online.
Good. Oh, there's Komal and there's Rania. Hello, ladies.
Mute. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Now, Komal, you need to say hello to Sameer. You know, Sameer is a councillor at Parramatta Council. We need to suck up to him, you know, because we need some grants.
Hello, Sameer. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Good to see you, Komal.
Likewise.
There you go. We'll just give it another minute. We've got a few more people to come and then we'll get started. Is it raining where you all are?
It's quite good in Hurstville at the moment, but morning was bad.
It hasn't stopped raining here. It's been really bad.
It's nice and clear on the northern beaches now, but we've had rain all morning. Looks like the sun's trying to break through.
I think it's gonna be sunny on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, we can all go to the beach, maybe.
Yeah.
At Gosford, it's cloudy, but we've had drizzly rain most of the morning.
Oh, I hated that little Zoom thing, so keep talking.
There you go. We've got one from Gosford.
What's it on? Cooking?
Yeah, it's on cooking with vegetables.
Tara, what's on your behind your screen?
More than thanks.
More than thanks. That's lovely.
More than thanks, because I'm a school teacher for the Department of Education. And at the present moment, you probably noticed that there's been a lot of things out on the news with the Gallup inquiry. And I just think that teachers deserve more than thanks. So when we go on Zoom, that's what we've been asked to put in our background, just to get it out there to everybody that, yes, we teachers do deserve more than thanks.
Wonderful. That's terrific. What can we do to help you get your message?
Okay, so you can actually go on the More Than Thanks website and just register, so that the more people that we get on board in relation to this, obviously the better it is going to get across for the government to see that we do need some of our working conditions at the present moment with COVID, and moving forward we need them changed.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well,
Tara, can I, sorry, I was keenly listening to what you were saying. Do you have a link which I'm happy to, you know, puts to my network?
I'll put that in the chat room for you. Thank you.
Thank you. I do agree that there is more than thanks that the teachers need and a lot of other professions need. I'll be very happy to push for that.
Certainly. Okay, I'll do that as we speak. Thank you very much.
No, Cara, you know, Nutrition Australia does work with all the schools around.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've been a member of Nutrition Australia for a very long time.
This is a cooking
and at the present moment, with teaching Grow and Thrive, which is agricultural mandatory in year 7 and 8, your Try for 5 program at the moment is amazing. So the work due for me tomorrow is that my students actually have to create a recipe and send me a picture of it completed, showing me that they've got 5 different vegetables on that one dish. And for 12-year-olds, what they're sending in is absolutely amazing.
That's wonderful, Cara. Would you be able to share that with us? So we will.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Really
Certainly.
excellent. Well, folks, I think that is a really lovely segue. It's just gone on 1:05. Why don't we start? Can I say a warm welcome to all of you for National Nutrition Week? This is our second event. Can I say thank you to our very special guest, Councillor Sameer Pandey, who's taken out time from his very busy schedule to be with us. I'm particularly delighted to have our consultant, accredited practicing dietitian, Andrea Powell, who you will hear from a little bit later. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Barbara Ward, and I'm the president of Nutrition Australia New South Wales, and I also sit on the national board. Can I begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land, the Daru people where I am today, and pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who may be on this Zoom today. Nutrition Week is celebrated annually to raise awareness, shift people's thinking, and encourage everyone to use this week's message for every day and add 5 vegetables to your daily meal. Try for 5 is always our theme. In New South Wales, we also have our focus as part of it to grow, eat, and sustain. I believe we all have the power to create. You're right. We all have the power to create our own destiny and to be able to contribute to food and food systems that's available to us. We had a wonderful launch on Sunday by Minister Hazzard, Federal Minister Susan Ley, and Mark Curray MP. And once again, I want to thank them, and I particularly want to thank the Federal Minister for Health, Greg Hunt, who supported our program. There are many supporters. Can I particularly give a shout out to Share SMR, LCI, Indigenous Culinary Institute, Deeply Digital, the Happy Snack People, and Sydney Markets. Nutrition has had a big impact. We were just talking earlier, particularly during COVID, the impact it's had. But it always has an impact on our health and well-being, particularly on mental health. It is important to have a healthy diet. With chronic disease such as diabetes and obesity on the rise, it's never been more important to focus what is on our plate. In addition, it is so important to be able to have easy access and affordable fruits and vegetables. That is often an issue for people. We in New South Wales are a peak body. We advocate, educate conversation, conduct cooking demonstrations, provide recipes, healthy lunchbox, reclaim lunchbox, mighty bites, menu assessment, menu planning. We do shopping tours, canteen audits, food safety and training, healthy eating advisory service, which we can help organizations to provide and promote healthier foods and drink educations. And we work in the settings of governments, corporates, allied health, community groups, individuals, early childhood, childcare centers, schools. And our work is aligned with New South Wales Health Strategy. And indeed, we work with them. In addition, we provide a platform for volunteers to gain experience and university interns. We play a vital role in New South Wales in the area of health and well-being. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is enough from me, I think, about our organisation. Let me just introduce to you our wonderful guest today, Councillor Sameer Pandey. Sameer was elected to the City of Parramatta in 2017. He was graduated with Bachelor's of Computer Science, a Master's of Information Technology from University of Sydney, and Master's of Legal Studies from University of Technology. Sameer manages a technology business as well as an educational institution based in Parramatta. Now, I don't know how he does all of this, but we're just going to ponder on that thought. Prior to starting his own business, Sameer worked with the Health Research Organisation as a head of IT, managing projects and systems in multiple countries. He advocates for community and understands what Parramatta community and businesses need from their local government. He is passionate about community issues, social inclusion, preserving heritage, local services, youth programs, older people, and people with disability in education. He sits on a number of boards and several committees. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome Sameer?
Thank you very much, Barbara, for that warm welcome. It's my pleasure to be among all of you here today to talk and spread awareness.
At 1 o'clock.
Is it okay?
Guys, can we get you all to mute if that's all right, please?
Sure, thank you. Thanks, Barbara. It's my pleasure to be among all of you today to talk and spread awareness about the importance of nutrition in our life. But before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and pay my respect to their elders past and present. Can I congratulate Nutrition Australia under the leadership of Barbara in advocating and raising awareness for healthy eating and the impact poor choices food have on our health and well-being. And I also acknowledge Andrea Powell, who will be demonstrating some nice recipes after this. And I look forward to the next and more exciting session for today. Can I also thank everyone here who are present for taking the time to be here and look after yourself. I think that's one thing which we all consciously sometimes do not do. We do not look after ourselves, which is so important. All of you are extremely busy, and we all are extremely busy in what we do and trying to assist and help everyone outside. But we cannot do that unless we are healthy ourselves, unless we look after ourselves. So thanks for taking the time to be here and trying to learn things as well, and like me, to look after ourselves. Can I say that on a personal note, this year I have changed my lifestyle and diet. I have not had some of the foods which I used to enjoy before. For example, let's say soft drinks I have not had for 4 years now. It's been 4 years. This year, since January, I have lost about 10 kgs. And this is just doing some exercise, making sure that I eat healthy. I have, not that I resist myself or stop myself from eating, but small quantities is okay. But something which is oily, for example, I avoid something which is, and there is a list of things, and I'm sure you all know about them. But I've been very conscious, I should say, about what I eat, and that has made a huge impact on, again, as I said, in my body and mind as well, to large extent, because I think healthy eating, there is a saying that, we become what we eat, isn't it? So I think making sure that we eat healthy is so important. Can also acknowledge City of Parramatta for supporting Nutrition Australia and similar projects which are so important for the community. And I think if any of you have any ideas, I would encourage you to put a grant application to City of Parramatta, and we'll be always happy to support. We have different grant programs which runs throughout the year, and I would definitely encourage you to look at our website, City of Parramatta's website, and see if there is a synergy between your work and what council is supporting. We'll be very happy to support. As Barbara mentioned, World Food Day is on 16th of October. And I was surprised to see the number that only 7% of adults and 5% of children eat the recommended serves of vegetables every day. And when I think about it, maybe I'm one of them as well in that statistics, that we do not eat as much veggies as we should be. I think it's so important, and if I can take a moment to talk about preventative health and how nutrition is so important. We have all heard. Yes.
So 1 o'clock.
We have all heard that prevention is better than cure, but are we walking the talk? The need for, in Australia, as we know, the government has spent 181 billion on health. There are risk factors, there are diseases which can be prevented, such as cardiovascular disease, certain types of cancer, obesity, diabetes. All these diseases can be prevented through nutrition, proper nutrition and lifestyle choices. And this will reduce the burden on health as far as the government is concerned. Australia spends about $2 billion or $89 a year on prevention per person, which I feel is quite low compared to what it should be. And I think the investment should be in programs like Barbara, what are you doing, nutrition, and these programs which will help us to towards that and meet that goal towards preventative health. So where there is possibility and opportunity, we should be making sure that enough investment goes into prevention through nutrition and other lifestyle choices, then solving the problem when people have the disease. So it is so important, I feel, that this sort of programs continue, and the government, all levels of government, whether it's council, state or federal, they should be supporting to the best they can and being proactive, not just reacting to something, but being proactive about solving these problems. I'm sure through your advocacy, this is happening, and I hope this will continue to happen. And I also mentioned on a personal note, I was part of a program called Food Switch program. This is when I worked as the head of IT for the health research company. And that program was, it was an app. The Food Switch program includes an app that allows users to scan foods barcode to get easy nutritional information. This was, I'm talking about a few years ago now, but I'm sure the Food Switch app is there, and some of you might have used. If not, do a search on Food Switch, and you will see the app on the App Store. And it talks about the energy, fat, sugar, salt, and all those sort of things which are required to be known. So I think the database has about 500,000 different kinds of food that you find on shelves in supermarkets. So that's a useful program which I was personally involved in creating. When it was created by someone, but it was in collaboration with the organization I was working with, and I was global head of IT for that organization at that time. So it's a useful program, and I think these are the kind of programs which will help us to be more conscious about what we are eating. In the past few months, I have been watching what I eat in terms of calories, in terms of the proportion and those sort of things. And I think it's so important that we are all conscious of what we eat. I know that we have more exciting things happening later in the session by Andrea, but can I mention that the impact nutrition plays on mental health as well, which Barbara has touched on as well. It's so important that we eat a balanced food, and not only that it affects our body, but also the mental health of us. It is something which in the past I've advocated for in some certain areas, such as aged care, for example. People should have choices of food. Nutrition is important. So for example, we do work in aged care, some on and off, and it's so important that people get to eat and have some choices around the food and nutrition that will help them. We can find the same thing in different, and I think it has to be something which is culturally sensitive as well. And is something which I have in the past worked with aged kids to make sure that that there is a sort of inclusiveness when it comes to nutrition and food in certain areas. I'll leave it there, Barbara, but I'm happy to take any, if anyone has any comments, feedback or questions, I'll be very happy to answer them. But thank you for organizing this session. It's wonderful to be here. And as I said, I'm looking forward to some of the recipes and try them as well afterwards.
Thank you, Sameer. Thanks for your wonderful remarks today. I think it's very important to have people like you who talk about it and draw that attention. I and Nutrition Australia and New South Wales can only do so much, but when we've got ambassadors like you who speak of their experience, it's terrific. But Diwali is coming.
Yes.
So you better watch it. So can I give a quick shout out before I go to Andrea, to my dear friend Shubha Kumar, who is on the line with us. Shubha, hello, namaste. Thank you for being with us today. I've also got Kedar here and my darling friend Najat, who there as well. So hello to all of you. So look, can I now hop on to Andrea, who's been patiently waiting to do her cooking for us. Look, Andrea is a very experienced person. She has extensive experience in the clinical area. She's been active member of Dietitians Australia. She has a broad knowledge of general nutrition and healthy eating. She specializes in medical areas, including, working with cardiac disease, diabetes, weight loss, nutrition and aging. Her other interests include conducting healthy food demonstrations. She's a sports and nutrition exercise. She completed her qualification with the Australian Institute of Sports. Andrea is passionate about nutrition. I don't think I need to say that. And she looks upon the implications of diet and exercise as we all do. As part of the Nutrition Australia New South Wales team, she aims to educate, motivate and inspire everyone to be better informed and achieve their goals with simple and practical advices. With further ado, let's launch onto you, Andrea. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara, and thank you, Laura and Nutrition Australia. It is my pleasure to be here today. This is my first virtual cooking demonstration, so it is a new experience to me, bringing these recipes in my kitchen rather than coming to you at your workplace and allowing you to enjoy the delicious creations that we do. Without going into too much depth, Sameer, awesome effort, listening to you and how you've changed your way of eating, lost the weight. In my clinical practice, what I am seeing a lot of is obesity and the implications that it brings to, in particular, cardiovascular disease, raised blood cholesterol, blood pressure, etc. So all those lifestyle factors, which I'm sure are just going to escalate now, given the challenges of the lockdown and how people have been leaning a lot more towards comfort food, not such good food choices, etc. So I'm not going to recap too much. You've given such a great, thorough, you and Barbara, in terms of things I was going to say in my introduction, but we do know the implications of having a good diet and good nutrition on our lifestyle, longevity, not only physically but mentally. So diet, exercise, mental health, all one and all. So without further ado, we've got 3 delicious recipes to bring to you today. The first one I'm going to focus on, and again, we're looking at incorporating a wide variety of this try for 5. So Nutrition Australia's slogan, encouraging us to eat more vegetables, because unfortunately we're well aware and not many of us get enough veggies. And you know, I've got a teenager who turns 18 today and a 20-year-old, and even getting them to eat their veggies, having mum as a dietitian. A friend said to me, well, you'll have a nice healthy lunch for them. And I said, oh, you know, it is a challenge. So I want to show you how quick and simple you can prepare some foods which are not only nutritious, but they taste really good as well. So you do have access to the recipes. So my biggest regret is that I can't offer you a sample of what I'm preparing today. So firstly, I'm going to start off with the chickpea and couscous salad. So couscous, it's a grain that can be used as a substitute for pasta or rice. Many varieties available. With each recipe today, I am going to be only doing half of the recipe serving sizes that you've got, given that I don't want to end up with a whole banquet of food when I don't have people to serve it to. So what I've got here is some couscous ready to go, some boiled water. So it's as quick as boiling your kettle, adding some vegetable stock, and couscous is one of those grains that's very quick and easy to prepare, because you just put the boiling water into the couscous. Now, what I'm going to do is allow that to sit for 5 to 10 minutes. So couscous can be eaten hot or cold. A lot of people use it with curries to soak up the flavors. Otherwise, as you're going to soon see, we're going to demonstrate it in a lovely, healthy salad. So we've got the couscous going. The next thing we're going to do is we've got a wide variety of veggies here. I've got some red capsicum. It doesn't have to be red. You can add different colors, using yellow, using green. I have some zucchini, some chopped red onion, and the herbs I've chosen to use today is some coriander and some mint. You can use parsley instead of coriander. You can add different vegetables as well. So the good thing about the recipes we're actually doing is that you can modify them based on the vegetables of your choice. So firstly, what we're going to do is just chop up our zucchini while that couscous is waiting. So just into cubes. Red capsicum. Other thing I quite like to do myself is I like roasted vegetables. So this is using the veggies raw, but what you could do is put on a baking dish into the oven some capsicum halves and zucchini halves and grill them and then chop them up. That'll give a slightly different flavour. And being of an Eastern European background, I grew up with a lot of these beautiful grilled veggies. So that would be another way. If you wanted a more of a warming dish, you could actually grill the veggies and then chop them up. So there are options. The recipe can form your base, and then what you actually add, we're really focusing on the veggies and making sure that we're providing lots of nutrition there. So different coloured veggies are going to give different nutrients. And certainly what we do aim for is a nice colourful plate. So not just focusing on all of your orange veg or red veg, making sure you've got 3 or 4 colours. And then you're going to maximise the nutrition and the benefits of the dish you're creating. I've got some little cherry tomatoes as well. They're quite big, so I'm just going to quarter those. Again, cherry tomatoes, diced tomatoes, it doesn't really matter. So just chopping those up. This is all going to go into our salad. And again, if you're baking veggies, there's nothing why you couldn't bake some nice Roma tomatoes in the oven as well. Then the herbs here, we've got some lovely mint. So we'll just chop that up. And some coriander. And lovely herbs, lovely and fresh. A lot of these herbs you might be lucky enough to be growing in your garden and be able to just pick them fresh, but certainly always able to flavour it to your own taste.
Andrea, we've got a question saying what was the ratio of liquid to couscous?
Okay, the ratio of the liquid here, on here I used 100 grams of the couscous, and then the liquid was 100 mils. So what you'll find is if you look at the packet of the couscous, some people like to buy the little instant sachets. It'll tell you how much liquid you need. There are different flavoured couscous available as well. And you might find that you don't use vegetable stock to those that have got the flavour. But on the boxes, it'll tell you how much, 200 grams on your recipe to 200 mils. So I've halved my quantities because I only had 100 grams of couscous measured out. So, and again, it's generally 5 to 10 minutes of standing time to allow the grain. The couscous is based on wheat semolina, and that grain will soak it up. So you don't need to, you don't boil it, it'll just soak up, and you'll see shortly, I can already see the liquid is almost soaked into that grain. Any other questions at the moment while we're just waiting for that couscous to...
You looked very professional with that knife there. Did you take it?
Joy. I must say I've spent a lot of time in my kitchen with COVID, as we all have, and certainly one of my passions is cooking, but I'll be honest, I'm sick of cooking, and I'm so looking forward to going out to dinner tonight for my son's 18th birthday and having someone else, well, no, I don't know, yes, serve me. So, yeah, it is a passion, but when you've got to do it day in, day out, which is why, as you'll see, some of the recipes or the recipes we're demonstrating today can be reused as a second recipe. And I'm going to expand on that a little further as we move along. So what I'm seeing now is that, well, that's pretty much soaked up nicely. So you just fluff it up. So you'll see that liquid, give it a little bit of a fluff up, and you'll get a nice grain as it absorbs into the couscous. So I could possibly let it stand for another couple of minutes, again covered. It'll soak it up. While that's going there, we're going to add some legumes. So we've got our grain, we've got our carbohydrate, but now what we want to do is add some protein. So legumes are a fantastic meat substitute. Again, relatively cheap. The cans of legumes at the moment, when I was doing Woolies shopping, the cans $1, on special. And they're really good, low fat, high fiber, high protein, very healthy in a lot of ways. So again, cheap and healthy, good for us. So we're going to add the chickpeas into. So everything again, if it comes to quantities, if you haven't printed off your recipes, what I've just added then is actually 100 grams of chickpeas. And what I did, there are actually little, I'm going to show, you can get that size, which are a little snack pack. So if you're going to work or want to add it in a salad, same size as your little 95 gram cans of tuna or salmon. You can just add that into there. Now it's time to add these beautiful veggies, colours.
Andrea, you've just given me an idea, and I'm sitting here watching you thinking,
Yes.
instead of me next time baking a cake and taking it somewhere, I should just do this. It's just as, easy, isn't it?
Easy. I know it's a little bit of preparation, but again, I find that in my daily life, I tend to see when I've got the time, and I might wash up, have things ready to go, in the morning. I'm up at 4:35 in the morning. So I often find that that's often a time when I'll chop up veggies, put them in the fridge, and when it comes to, later in the afternoon, when you're a little tired or when a little more time for and you want something quickly, it's all ready to go. So I'm going to now just add those herbs, tomatoes, red onion into my couscous, and then give it a little bit of a stir in. I've got some lemon juice, so again, you can use the lemon or lime juice. I've got salt and pepper here, which I'll add shortly, but I just would like to show you what's happening here, which unfortunately, you can imagine you're having a taste of, but it's all mixing in nicely with, sorry, and again, a drizzle of olive oil.
Whoa, guys, you need to mute. Okay, Laura, you might be able to mute.
So what I've done, I've topped it off with a drizzle of olive oil and some black salt and pepper. And voila, what you've got is a beautiful, vibrant, colourful, healthy, nutritious couscous salad that's covered a good proportion of veggies, but you've got some carbohydrate in your grain, you've got some protein in your chickpeas, and most importantly, you've got a delicious salad ready to go. Now coming to summer with barbecues, etc., a good way, very quick and easy to take as a salad. So beautiful served with grilled chicken, steak, grilled
Looks
fish.
lovely, Andrea. It looks really lovely.
I'm going to show one more little take on it. I had salmon last night for dinner, and I didn't eat all my whole big bit, but that was some grilled salmon I did with some ducat. What I would do is crumble that with a little bit of salad, and that would make a meal for me. Also, 95 grams small can of tuna goes well. If you've got some leftover cooked chicken breast, shredding that through. The other thing I actually quite like doing too is adding a little bit of feta cheese. So again, adding a bit of calcium in the cheese. So, the recipe base is there. Be creative and add to your personal taste, but also know that, as you can see, that didn't take long to prepare, and you've got a healthy, you could have it as a meal on the table, ready to go. So that's number one recipe. Any questions or comments?
I have to ask a question. Do you use the zucchini raw? You cut
I use the zucchini raw in this one, yes. So you can eat zucchini raw, but certainly my personal preference would be to put a baking dish of capsicum, zucchini in the oven, and then chop them up after that. You can use capsicum instead of zucchini as well. So what we're aiming for is a variety of colours, but you can flavour the base to what your personal preferences are. Some people like to add olives. So couscous is traditionally used a lot, African, Middle Eastern. So, you know, it goes really well with those things like olives and grilled veggies as well. So again, can be used as a warm dish or as a cold dish. So that'll keep for a couple of days in the fridge. It can be used over a couple of meals, or if you're going to your workplace and you've had it for dinner, taking it in with you for your lunch the next day. So any other questions? We're going to move across now to my stovetop. There we go. We've got my Australian Guide to Healthy Eating there as well. Our second recipe we're going to make for you today is a frittata. Once again, in the recipe there's 6 eggs. Everything I'm going to do is going to be based on half the quantity. So if you're cooking for a larger audience, then obviously doing the 6, it serves 4. I'm just going to halve it again so that it can fit in my little fry pan. So while that's happening, I'm going to heat up what I've got here already pre-prepared, and I'm just going to put this on to boil, is some sweet potato. Chopped and ready to go. So that will boil quickly for just to cook it a little. I'm just going to warm it up. And what I'm going to add with that, just to steam it lightly, is some broccolini. Broccolini. So again, you can use broccolini, you could use asparagus, a frittata, again, be creative. But for today's purpose, we're using sweet potato. You could use pumpkin instead of sweet potato to put some orange in. We've got the broccolini here, so that's just going to steam in with our chopped up sweet potato.
Wonderful. You know, I have my brother's granddaughter comes to stay with me. She's 4.5. She loves broccoli.
Yes.
She won't eat anything else, but you give her broccoli and she will have it, you know. So I took some over to her home the other day, cooked, just steamed, and she says to her mom, "Oh, you know, Fuwa knows I love this, doesn't she? That's why she brings it to us." And I'm like, isn't it wonderful that a kid loves having broccoli?
I know, for some reason, why do children not like green? I mean, my teenagers find it very strange that mum's favourite vegetable colour is green, and I'll always bulk up. I've always got baby spinach there and a vibrant salad. So it's great to hear children actually loving green vegetables. They seem, and listening in on Sunday's presentation, people are afraid of vegetables, and you think, why? Like, they're so versatile. You can create so much with them, but the best thing is they're so good for us. And unfortunately, we just don't eat enough. I think 1 in 10 adults only eat enough of the recommended servings per day, and with children, even less, 1 in 15. So it's a real shame, because if we can eat right, then we're going to improve our health, nutrition. We're not going to have, you know, what we're faced with in Australia, growing pandemic of obesity. So again, low in energy, high in nutrition, high in vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients. Just a shame that, you know, people are afraid to experiment more and use them as the base of their diet. So we're leaning far too much towards fast foods, quick and prepared, easy to go. And often people say, well, I just don't have time. But that's why today, hopefully, we can help demonstrate that you don't need a lot of time. It's just sometimes having some good recipes as supplied by Nutrition Australia, and just a little bit of experimentation. And when you eat better, as Sameer said, you feel better, your mind. It's so much in the mind as well. So while that's happening, I've just got that broccoli. I'm going to put the lid on. Broccoli is steaming in with the sweet potato. I'll put my fry pan on. How we're going to get to the got a little bit more oil. I'm only using a small one there. I use an olive oil, monounsaturated fat. People say, what sort of oil do you use? I always like a good quality extra virgin olive oil. Fat is fat, so it doesn't matter how much you use. If you're looking at weight control, you don't want to be adding too much. It's a concentrated source of energy, provides twice as much kilojoules per gram as does carbohydrate and protein. But what is important is when we do have fats in the diet, we try and include mono, poly, unsaturated fats. Good for our cholesterol, helps lower bad cholesterol as cholesterol rises, deposits on your arteries, and increases likelihood of heart disease. So certainly don't be afraid of using olive oil. But again, a drizzle on your salads, fine. Some in the fry pan, all good as well. So what we're doing now is cook the broccolini. I'm gonna whisk together my eggs here. So again, I've got some lovely free-range eggs. I'm just going to whisk. I'll do it back here so that it doesn't splash all over my kitchen. Just the logistics. That was what I was most nervous about today, was seeing how the logistics of my kitchen was going to work. Luckily, I do have a big spacious kitchen, but it was just making sure that we can see what's being demonstrated. I'm going to use half of this. There's a cup of low-fat milk here. So again, we need calcium in our diet. The other half will go for our smoothies. So I'll just measure to half a cup in line. So whisking. Now what I've got happening here, right, so that broccolini and sweet potato is steamed, ready to go. I'm just going to drain it. So I've got my broccolini in there. Once I've drained it over my sink, you'll see there's the base of our frittata, the broccolini, sweet potato. I'm going to put that into the frying pan. Quick to hear that sizzle, something happening in the kitchen. And then into our frittata, our eggs and our milk. So again, we've got our protein and our eggs. Some people ask me, especially with plant-based, they're a little afraid to eat too many eggs. They say, oh, I thought eggs weren't good for cholesterol. I want you to be reassured that eggs, even for people with high cholesterol, the National Heart Foundation has said up to 7 eggs, not an issue. Eggs, not only are they good quality protein, you get about 5 to 6 grams of protein in one egg. What you also get is 60 calories, so they're low in calories, especially for weight reduction or when you're trying to manage your weight. They're filling because they've got protein. You generally feel satisfied, so you're not looking to nibble or snack in between meals. But eggs are also high. The egg yolks got the iron, but they're high in omega-3 fats. So you can safely include eggs in your diet. Frittata breakfast, frittata dinner, really nice and healthy. I'm going to put some black pepper in there while that's cooking. Allowing that to cook up there.
Now, for all our community leaders who are on this Zoom, can I encourage you to contact us and we will come and do a cooking demonstration wherever you like us to.
Yes, it's lovely when you can go to workplace. This, as Barbara said, come to the workplace. With things opening up, what I've done over the years with Nutrition Australia is I bring this to you. So I bring this to your workplace. Some of it's pre-prepared like I've done here, so I can talk more to the audience, answer questions and focus on what I'm doing rather than washing up veggies. So this all comes to your workplace, demonstrate, but the benefits of that is you actually get to eat what I bring as well. So there's a sampling of food that goes along with coming along face to face. So once that's cooking through, I'm going to add some baby spinach leaves in there. I'm just going to let that set a little more before we. So you can see what's happening. The frittata is cooking along there, looking really good. The egg's starting to cook. Got the sweet potato, got lots of greens. So folate, your green leafy veg. Now sweet potato, I'm going to just talk a little bit about that. It's a good substitute for potato in dishes as well. Sweet potato, I'm sure most of you are aware of the GI or glycemic index of foods. So what we try and aim to do is have foods that have got a low GI, which means they take longer to break down and you don't get such a rapid rise in blood sugar levels. So we're aiming for a more even keel. That helps to keep us satisfied, but it also, we don't want to get peaks and troughs in our blood glucose. So we don't want to exert extra effort on the pancreas to try and bring the sugars down. So sweet potato, great substitute potato when you've got dishes as well, and benefits of other nutrients in it as well. So that's cooking there. It's almost set. Again, flavouring it with your salt and pepper. Then what I've got here is some reduced fat cheese. So sprinkling that on, I've just got, plain tasty low fat cheese. You could add goat's cheese. Goat's cheese is actually lower in fat, but you know, adding a bit of a calcium source. We've got some milk in there. We've got some cheese. We need calcium. 3 to 4 serves a day for healthy bones growth. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. Now the other thing you could do, this can go under the grill, and then you put it in the oven, and it's going to cook up and bake off at the top as well. But if you're in more of a hurry, you could actually flip it over. You could use your egg flip and make it into more of an omelette. So again, if I'm lifting the start, it's all cooked there as well. That cheese will melt into it. It's just in view of time. I'm trying to be mindful that it is 10 to 2, and I don't know if people.
We can see it, Andrea. We can see it quite well. That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's good. Yeah.
So that cheese will melt into it, and I think it can be. I'm going to play around and show you now. I'm not going to do a very good job of flipping, but you could flip it, and again, it's going to taste the same and grill nicely. So that can be done in a dish, put into the oven, and then when it's served, serve with a nice green leafy salad. And once again, a great meal and very quick to prepare, as you can see. So you can substitute the vegetables that were in there. Some of the favourites I would suggest probably be, rather than using the sweet potato, maybe some pumpkin, maybe some asparagus, maybe some mushroom, maybe some onion. And again, reduce that cheese, or even a feta or goat's cheese would work really well too. Any questions on that?
Yes, I have a question. I know that the olive oil, it makes acids when you put it on fire. I don't know if it's a truth or no. I cook all the time with canola oil on fire, but I only use the olive oil on salad, on cold salad. So I don't know if I am right or wrong. The olive oil, as soon as you put it on the fire, it becomes an acid for the food.
Yeah, look, different oils have different boiling points. Canola is another good oil to use to cook with. It is a monounsaturated fat. But olive oil can safely be used.
So it's safe to be.
Maybe just don't turn up the fire as high. But I pretty much use olive oil. This one's actually an extra olive oil. I usually have a light olive oil for frying on the fry pan. But again, you could use the canola or the olive oil, but it's to do with the boiling point of the oil, the temperature.
Yeah, I am just asking because I was under the impression that the olive oil You can't put it on fire. So now I know that's really good.
Yeah, you can. You probably find rather than, is it an extra virgin olive oil that you put on the fire?
Yeah.
You'll probably see, when you see olive oils in the supermarket, you'll see that some are light, some are extra light, extra virgin. It's not to do, some people say, oh, because it's light, does it mean less calories? No, it's light in flavour, so lighter in texture. The calories are the same. So this is something I hear a lot from clients saying, oh, because it's light, you know, it's less calories. That's not the case. Still, you know, the same calories, but maybe a lighter one isn't going to sizzle so much. So maybe buying a light one for your cooking and then having an extra virgin one. Yes, that sizzled quite a bit.
Thank you for the information. Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Okay, so our frittata is pretty much ready to go. Last recipe, just keeping to time, so we have got a little bit of time for questions as well, is the berry green smoothie. This is actually a great breakfast on the go, or even a lunch, because it's almost like a meal in one. Things with smoothies is a lot of people, if you have a smoothie and a meal, you can pretty much be getting 2 meals. So it would be a good substitute, but again, you've got a lot of nutrition in it. So really good for people on the go. Berry green smoothie, I'm going to do it in my NutriBullet. I have a big KitchenAid over here as well. So if I was doing it for my family of 4, I'd use the big mixer. But this is what I use for my son's smoothies in the morning. So there's some low-fat milk. What I've got here is some good quality low-fat yogurt, Greek style. Once again, I often get a lot of questions about, oh, you can't see what I'm doing, I'm going to hold it up. I often get a lot of questions about what's the best yogurt, or what do you use, Andrea? I have a few personal favourites because of the flavour, but also because of the protein content. Chobani, YoPro, even a Greek style yogurt. If you get a higher protein, the protein helps with satiety. So what you find is we eat to our body's protein requirements, and it helps us to keep full, so we feel satisfied. When we feel satisfied, we're less likely to want a quick fix or want a snack in between meals. So you're aiming, you know, good to get a good amount of protein at breakfast, lunch and dinner, including a protein source. So your frittata, you know, your eggs are satisfying. A good quality smoothie with yogurt, milk's got protein in it. What we're also going to add is some chia seeds. So once again, any of you cook with chia or add chia to your salads? I mean, that could be sprinkled on salads. Great for smoothies, great to add to cereal. High in omega-3 fats, high in antioxidants, good source of protein, fiber. So we're going to put some chia into our smoothie. What I've got here is frozen. Now I do this a lot. Frozen berries. When they're fresh and they're cheap, like at the moment I've been seeing strawberries are relatively cheap at the moment. I often wash them up and I put them into single serve snap lock bags. So that's just some blueberries, some strawberries, and some banana. So I'll often do single serve snap lock portions to again make it quick. And I do that a lot at the end of, say, mango season. I like buying Australian berries, Australian mango, and certainly I find that I'll often scoop out the mango without the skins, and in my freezer I'll snap lock mango so I can enjoy mango smoothies throughout the year, not just when they're in season through the summer months. What we're going to add is some greens. So once again, some of those lovely baby spinach, adding some veggies into our smoothie, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and optional on the recipe, but I've got some as well, a bit of honey. So again, honey, I'll just rub a teaspoon, here we go. Some people say, oh, but honey, I'm not eating sugar. Yes, you are. I mean, honey's good, a little bit's good, but whether it be honey, sugar, treacle, it's still added sugars. So a little bit's okay. We don't want to eat too much. So in my ready to go cup, oh, ice cubes. Look, my berries are still frozen. I won't go to my freezer now, but adding ice into that, into the Nutribullet. Breakfast on the go. There we go. We've got beautiful berries, very high in antioxidants. Berries are also very low in calories. So certainly when people, and information sheets that I give to my clients, when it looks at fruit serves, fruit's got a lot of natural sugars. So we do need fruit, a couple of serves a day. We don't want to be eating too much because although it does have sugars, it's in the form of fructose, we get fiber in fruit. But what you find with your berries is not only are they full of, and I've got some mint leaves, we can put some mint in there as well. Give it a little bit. Wish I could let you taste this. I'm going to have a little taste to keep me going to a dinner. Very nutritious smoothie. We've got a mixture of calcium. We've got some protein with the chia seeds, with the high protein yogurt. We've got lots of antioxidants. We've got fiber. We've got a meal in a mug. So, you know, when people say, I don't have time for breakfast, that took what, less than 5 minutes? So, and very good for us as well. And try and incorporate vegetables into your smoothies. Once again, people often, you know, when I hear what clients put in their smoothies and they've got so much fruit in there, so all those natural fruit sugars, yet we can use celery, we can use spinach, we can use kale. Try and make sure if you are doing a smoothie, more veggies and a little bit of fruit. So whether it be apple, whether it be berries, just so you're not getting all those natural concentrated fruit sugars, you know, when you drink it. So great, vibrant, pick me up, healthy and nutritious. So
Lovely. Really lovely, Andrea.
All done within 40-45 minutes. Yes, a little bit of pre-preparation, but I wouldn't say that, you know, you need to spend hours in your kitchen. And the great thing about what we've demonstrated today is there things that can be used. I mean, especially with your couscous salad, a hot meal, a cold salad, bulking it up with a little bit more protein. Frittata, again, if you bake it, nothing wrong with a bit of cold frittata and salad for lunch, smoothie, breakfast option, or just an afternoon. But keep in line, I do know you've all got other commitments. We are coming on to 2 o'clock. It has been my pleasure doing my first online virtual cooking demonstration. It's wonderful to get out there and see some of you. Nutrition Australia do so many wonderful things, and I think now's the time. We've all been in lockdown, so timely coming out of lockdown and focusing on good health, good nutrition, getting back on track. So thank you once again. It's been my pleasure. Thanks to Nutrition Australia. Thanks to Sameer, and I hope to see some of you again.
Thank you,
Thank you
Andrea.
very much. I enjoy
Wonderful,
it
excellent.
very, very much. See you,
Yeah.
see you next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrea, I'll now call on Laura to give the vote of thanks.
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you, Andrea, for those delicious recipes. Definitely going to become staples in my household. I can imagine that they'll be really great use of, you know, that you can whip them up on the weekend or something and then have them throughout the week as well. So we really love that. I'm just going to give a quick thanks to our supporters today. So thank you obviously to Councillor Sameer Pandey from Parramatta City Council for taking the time out of your busy schedule and giving us such a great insight into your own journey with healthy eating as well. Thank you also to City of Parramatta for supporting this event and yeah, doing a lot of great work in the community, especially given the conditions that Parramatta has been under with COVID at the moment. To all of our sponsors, thank you to supporting National Nutrition Week in New South Wales. We have had lots of great events this week and sharing lots of tips and yeah, lots of recipes and hoping to really get you all inspired about trying for 5 and enjoying more vegetables in your day. Most of all, thank you to all of you for joining us today. And do stay.
Thank you to everyone.
Yeah, it's been lovely to see so many faces, and there's a few that I know have been joining us every week for Project Pantry, which we've been running since August, of those, you know, free weekly cooking classes. So it's great to see people coming back and keeping on engaging with healthy recipes. I think that's really important.
Naja, we have got Adrian and Kamal and them there. So I just wanted to say thank you for your support to Share. And I wanted to say thank you to Adrian and his team at Share for partnering with NA.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. I like to come on Saturday too, if I can.
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
How can I register my name for Saturday?
We'll send you out an invite. I'll get Adrian to send out an invite to you guys again.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you very much.
And for those who are also wondering about Saturday, we will be having another event on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We're talking all about World Food Day, because Saturday is, you know, not only still National Nutrition Week, but it's World Food Day as well. So we'll be talking about our actions are our future and what that means for the food that we're eating now and how that's affecting our future, you know, for years to come in terms of our health and future generations as well. We will be joined by the Honourable Matt Keane, who's now our new Treasurer, and Minister for Energy and Environment as well. We'll also be joined by Professor Tim Flannery and a few speakers from CSIRO too. That again will be moderated by our fantastic President, Barbara Ward, who's been such an integral part of pulling these events together. It's been a lot of work behind the scenes getting these together, but you know, it's been lovely seeing so many people come along and, you know, really making the most out of your veggies this week and hopefully for months and years to come. So thank you all for joining us today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and we'll see you on Saturday if you are jumping on. Do give these recipes a try, and you know, keep checking back in with us because we'll be sharing more recipes throughout the week as well.
Thank you.
Barbara.
I saw that, Andrea. I know,
it tastes delicious. Veggie stews are delicious. It's really good. Let me going to a dinner. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thanks,
Thank
Sameer.
you.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, bye.